Have you ever scrolled for hours trying to find the right job, but end up not applying to any of them? What if I told you that there's a way to simply get all of the job listings in one place so that you can easily filter it and grab the jobs that you want to apply to? Well, look no further, because today we're going to go into exactly how you can do that with this script. Let's get into it. So whenever you actually run this, it might take a minute or two depending on how many jobs there actually are. I have mine set up to run for just one page or the last 24 hours depending on what the situation is. Once I get all these results, we can see that 66 jobs were saved to a file. So I can go ahead and I can open the file in the editor, but I have it as an XLSX file currently, so it's not going to work for me. Instead, I'm going to go over to Google Sheets, and then I'm going to convert this to a table. So now I have all the data here sorted in the table. Actually, it's not sorted yet, but I can go ahead and sort by salary or any other column that I would like to sort by. Salary has the dollar signs at the start, but whenever we actually sort A to Z, it will sort us starting with 100,000 going up from there. And then after that, it'll go to the hourly or the smaller numbers that are less than 100,000. So this is actually pretty nice. If you're looking for a job that's over 100,000, it'll actually have a lot of options here at the start. And then after I do that, I could go ahead and I could go look at location. If I wanted to filter on a specific location, I could look at the URLs, I could look at the companies. Now that we've gone over how this actually works, I'm going to quickly show you how you can use this and manipulate it to do exactly what you want. And then I'll go through how I created this and everything that's involved in it. But if you do like this and you go and grab this content and use it, please be sure to come back to my channel and give me a like. It helps me out tremendously. And if you want to see different job sites and different enhancements to this, be sure to leave those down below in the comments. I will read those and I will do those enhancements because I have another video that I'll be posting next week where I'll be going over some enhancements to this that I already have. So be sure to subscribe to be notified when that video comes out. Now let's go ahead and go into how you can get this set up and personalized for your specific needs. All right, the first thing we're going to do is if you scroll down, the very first comment I'll have pinned is going to be the repo here. If you do use it, be sure to leave a comment or like it or something to let me know that this is being used so that I can actually maintain it and keep it up to date. If nobody likes it or comments on it, I'm probably just going to get rid of the repo completely. So be sure to like that or comment if you are going to use this. Now, once you get it pulled up, the first thing that you can do if you go over here to code is you can clone by either grabbing the URL or you can download the zip. I prefer to copy the URL. And once you have that copied, you can open up VS Code. Okay, once you open up your VS Code or whatever IDE you're using, you can go ahead and write git clone and then copy the name of the repo and it'll clone the repo here. So I'm actually in my current repo. So this is going to be a little bit weird, but within my job search script, I will now have job search script. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this just because I don't need it in here. And then once you have it, the first thing you will want to do is open up your README. Your README will give you all the instructions for everything that you need to be doing in this file. The first thing you need to do is pip install your requirements. So you can run the pip install requirements, and then you may need to restart your IDE, but you shouldn't have to. Once all those are finished being installed, then you can install the Playwright extension. So now I'm going to clear this. I can run python-m playwright install. It's already been installed, so there's nothing for me to do here. Now I'm going to update my inputs.yaml file. So I can go in here if I want to see a different job. Let's say I want to be a data scientist. And instead of being in Washington, D.C., I want to look in Pasadena, California. If I save this file and go back to my README file, then I can see the next thing will be to run the script. So I can copy in python./main.py, and then I'll be grabbing the last 24 hours because that's the latest that I have for the script. You will be able to make changes. You can do a lot more things with this as well. I'll go over that later on in the video. But for this, it'll run for about a minute or so. And once that is finished running, you can go to this folder the results folder over here on the left, and you can open up your file. I will actually be right clicking on it and then pressing reveal in File Explorer. That'll open up the file's location, and then I can open up the actual Excel file, or I can copy it into Google Sheets. And once you open that file, you can do exactly what we went over before in this video. So now you have all the details that you need to actually get set up and get rolling. I hope that you find this useful, and I hope that you actually use it. And if you do, again, leave a like, leave a comment, something to let me know that you're using it. Now let's go into, for those of you that have stuck around, the details on how to manipulate this, how to make changes, how to enhance it for the future. The first thing we're going to look at is the actual scrapers. So the first one I did was a LinkedIn scraper, and these are built very similarly. The main thing that's going on here is we're going to be using Playwright to grab details, and we're going to act like a human scrolling. The biggest issue is that we're not using an API, so we're not actually going to be calling anything. We're actually going to go out as a bot essentially and try to pull the data. And a lot of these platforms do block this, so we're actually going to be using the human scroll to prevent a CAPTCHA from blocking us essentially. So now that we have that set up, we will be able to go through and we'll scrape for the job details, and then we will actually put the job details into a job entries list. We're going to append the data here if we have it for salary and all text. The salary does not always show up, so we don't want to have any failures there. And all text, most descriptions will have text. If it doesn't have a description, I'm not sure why they're posting it, but I think we should have text for all those. And then we will go ahead and finish out by going to the next scraper. Again, almost all the same information. And then we go to the main Python loop, where we will be writing this to a location. I have it set up to append the hour and the minute to the end of all these files. If you're just running this once a day, you can go ahead and remove that. You can also change it so it doesn't have a timestamp at all. You could just have it by job and overwrite the jobs as they go. You can also make other manipulations in here if you need. This main method is actually really simple, but it's all written to the results location, and it's just a data frame that's being written here. So there's nothing too crazy happening. And all you have to do to create more is actually just go in here and create a new scraper. And then once you create it, just import it here at the top, and then you'll be able to add a new entry here for each one that you're running. So all you have to do if you want to use Glassdoor is the same thing that I have here. Just import Glassdoor and get it started there. Any other locations that you want to do. And if you want to change how often these are run or how many pages, anything like that. So we're running, Indeed is not in headless because of the way that the CAPTCHA is working, but we have it set up to run for just the first page. You can change that to be more pages if you want. And then for the LinkedIn scraper, we have that set up with headless being true because we can actually open up 60 different browsers in one session without getting any, without having any issues there. So we have a limit of jobs open at the same time as 50. And then we have a random sleep in between to hopefully not get triggered as a bot. And then down here at the bottom, we have similar information: job title, company, location, URL, and then salary, all text, and then the source so that we know which source it actually came from. That's the high level overview of all this. If you have other questions, be sure to leave them down below and I will answer those. But I hope that you found this video useful. And if you did, again, please like, please subscribe, please share it with others. Let people know this is really a tough time for a lot of people, and this is just a way that you can actually go out and find a lot of information in not very long. I mean, it takes about a minute to run, but how long does it take to scroll through all these jobs and find the ones that actually apply to you? Probably a little bit longer. So just having an Excel file with all the specific jobs that you're looking for could be extremely helpful for those trying to find a job right now. So that's all I had again for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.